Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the interwebs net. Sorry if there's any background noise. I can't do anything about it. There's people running around. There's a kid's birthday. I'm just trying to get this out before the games comes out fully because, just for YouTube reasons. Um, now, just before we get started, I want to say I just loaded up a default. So whatever, if you've never played Dragon Age Origins or Dragon Age 2, there are going to be spoilers. If you haven't played the DLC, there are going to be spoilers. I'm not going to go into too much depth with Dragon Age 2, as in Dragon Age 2 really does not affect the overall plot and the overall lore of the Dragon Age. Most of it is in Dragon Age Origins, so let me just get that clear. So if you are here for Dragon Age 2, do not expect to get like a really in-depth per quest as I will do with Origins, because they're just, or Dragon Age 2 is just so limited story-wise that I can't really do anything with it, so I'm sorry. And yes, there are going to be spoilers. So I'm going to go. There are a few, like a quest here and there that doesn't really affect the main story that I haven't played and don't know that much about. So I'm sorry if that does have a slight change in something, but I'm human. I'm not perfect. So let's get this started. So, this is a completely default state. So if you've never played both of them, this is what you'll see. If you've loaded in your saves from either game, most of these will probably be different depending on what choices you made. If you want to know how to quickly make a new one, you can go here, press this little world right here, press load another world state. I can delete this one because this is the one I tried to make earlier, but I goofed it. I'll just delete these ones. That's my game one, so let's add a new one. This is how you do it. And voila. Let's go to the tapestry. And let's do this. So, hero. Now, this is really doesn't matter for the overall story. The only thing it changes is obviously who the hero Ferelden is and who the whoever, like what warden killed the archdemon is. This is more lore than actual overall story. The story will be the exact same no matter who you choose. It'll just change the background story of whoever you choose. So let's go with that. Like if you choose elves, humans won't like you. If you use human, elves won't like you. This I'll go in more detail right now. You can't do much with it. This is very end game stuff. So this is very end, like who killed the archdemon? Did you survive? Did you die? These choices for that will come on later in. So we'll come back to that. Don't worry. I'm going to do this as quickly for you guys as I possibly can. It's going to be probably about an hour and 10 minutes to finish Dragon Age Origins and the second one. Probably about half an hour to 40 minutes for this particular Dragon Age Origins. So, this particular quest is a quest you pick up by going, I think, through the main storyline. You'll eventually end up through here anyways. But you walk through this village and I believe there's someone sick and cursed. And they talk about how there's these werewolves going around and eating people and cursing other people and and all that stuff. And they try to make you to believe, they try to perceive that the werewolves are evil and all that stuff. So you go through the quest, and you have three options. You have brokered peace, means you create peace in between the werewolves and the elves, and the Dalish. You can side with the wolves and kill all the villagers, which will end any quest in there that you haven't finished. Or you could side with the elves, which will quit any quest that you have with the wolves. So it's double-sided there. This is more personal preference. As you get into, once again, spoilers, once you get into this, you'll start learning that the Dalish are actually the ones who created this curse and have actually cursed some of their outcasts or whatnot. And these wolves are actually in a lot of pain, and they really need to get cured. And that opens up two different storylines for it. So, I won't spend too much time. I won't go into all the details of it because this doesn't really affect the main story. So pretty much personal preference. Did you cure them of their decades-long curse and Dalish join the Warden's force against the Blight? So you get both of both worlds. Did you eliminate all the Dalish and then the werewolves join your side? Or do you eliminate the wolves and the Dalish join your side? So you have two ways the Dalish will join you, and one for the werewolves will join you, and then there's one where the werewolves survive and you get the Dalish. But there's no other way. There's no way to get get the werewolves on your side unless you side with them. So I'm pretty sure I think I sided with the werewolves because Dalish are kind of mean as I was a human. Now, this is inside that quest. Once again, it's not main story changing, so I'll just quickly go through this. Pretty much, as you're doing that quest, you'll find a wounded female wolf laying down, about to die, in a lot of pain, and she tells you that she... Ooh, background noise, sorry. I can't fix it, I'm sorry. About his or her husband that lives in this village, and how she's dying, and she can't go back to the village because they'll kill her, and all this stuff. Oh my god, that's loud. And it'll end soon, don't worry. And pretty much she gives you her scarf saying, give this to my husband, don't tell him what became of me. Like, don't tell him that I was a werewolf and and then I died, and like all this stuff. So she gives you her scarf, asking you to bring it back and give it to her husband for, you know, just to have, I guess, to remind him of her. So you have two options. You can either don't tell her or don't tell him about it, but still give him her scarf. I think you're allowed to, but not tell her. Just say you found it. I think that's an option. Or you can give him the scarf and say, hey, your wife was a werewolf and she's dead. You guys killed her. So I choose that one. I choose to tell him. Now this one, once again, no correlation to the main story. In the same village as the werewolves, there's this guy and this girl that I guess have broken up or like each other, but she doesn't like him because she doesn't see him as like a hunter or a real man or a real elf yet. So you could either break them up by sleeping with her. If you have like 38 cunning or something like that, you could then sleep with her, or you can like convince her with high persuasion or something like that to sleep with you. You can romance her, and that breaks them up, and then you tell him about it or whatever, he finds out. Or you can find him like one wolf pelt or one bear pelt or something like that, give it to him, and he will show it off saying, hey look, I've hunted this, even though he really didn't, and they will get together. I did not do that. I did not do that quest at all because I killed them all. I think, did I? Let me check. Is that what I chose? Yeah. Okay. So yeah. The Ironback, once again, no correlation to the main story. Did you bring back some rare metal and it allows you to buy more items from his shop? Yes or no? I did before I killed them all, just to get some extra monies because I was low on money. Once again, just a side quest. Did you find this like magical deer? Did you help it? Did you kill it? You know, all this stuff. It was sick, and you had to like go through like a fetch quest almost. I believe I did save it. Dagon was a sick elf outside the forest, and you had to pick him up and bring him back to the encampment and heal him. No correlation to the main story. I mean, he helps you. That's about it. Get money. It's just a side quest. I did help him indeed. Okay, so now that's done. We will move on to companion stories, I guess. The other one later. So I romanced. You can romance. Now this affects late game quite a bit. So this is where you kind of have to make. You won't really know what choices you want to make until later on in the game, where like at the very end game choices. This is where this matters. If you romance Alistair, you can then rule the kingdom with him. If you romance Morrigan, you can then have a kid with her, and then you do not have to die at the end of the game. You can romance Liliana, which allows her to survive or something like that. She dies. She has a chance to die in a quest, and she does come back in Dragon Age Inquisition. So I'm not sure if you kill her in Dragon Age Origins if she will come back. So I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to test that out later when the game releases. And then there's Zevran, who does come back in Dragon Age 2 if you do not kill him. If he does not die. But he's not an interesting character to me. I romance Liliana. Once again, we'll get more into those choices later on in the very end game, where those actually matter quite a bit. Alright, so did you recruit the dog or did you not recruit the dog? This is at the beginning of the game. This has kind of a story change. If you are a noble human like I am, you start off with a companion dog. If you do not, if you start at any other race, you then can have a chance to um, you then have a chance to find a flower and give it to a dog trainer who then is able to heal his dog, and then that dog falls in love with you and then follows you around, and you can then add to your party. If you already had the dog, then you could just complete the quest, but you don't get the dog for it. All right, so once again, this is very, very important what you choose here. This will affect your later this will affect your later on choices. You could still change them, and then it'll say, hey, if you want this choice, then you have to go back and change these ones. But you don't have to go back. You can just say, oh, automatically change them for me. So there's a couple options. There's Logan's executed by Warden. There's Logan executed by Alistair. Logan killed by Alistair in a duel. Logan killed during Archdemon, and Logan is alive and well. These two is if you recruit him, if you make him become part of the Wardens, which might be technically the worst fate of all, but because you're pretty much destined to die sometime. Now, if you want him to become king, you have to execute Logain. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I did with my playthrough. Now, what did the Warden do about Sten's imprisonment? Now, obviously, the very beginning of the game, the very first area you get to play in after the prologue. Now, did you set Sten, or you didn't? It was a guy in the cage. If you found him and you didn't, you choose that, or you didn't even talk to him, you choose that. You have an option to pick the lock. You have the option to persuade the church owner to give him the key, or you can intimidate her by giving you the key. If you intimidate her, she obviously doesn't like you, gives you the key. If you persuade her, she agrees with you and says, okay, I'll give you the key and free him. If you pick the lock, nothing will happen unless you take him, unless you bring Sten into the chantry or the church with you, and then she sees him and she kicks you out and does not like you. So the best option is to choose this, and that's what I did, as long as you have a persuasion skill during, like, you talk to her. Remember, all the companion stuff technically might change the Inquisition story, as in they might be brought up or they might not, depending if they're alive or dead. Maybe, I'm not 100% sure, but probably. I mean, that's what I've heard. So this guy, you definitely want to recruit him. If you didn't recruit him in Dragon Age Origins, what the hell are you thinking? He's the guy that allows you to learn the Berserker skill tree, which is like the Reaver in Inquisition. So definitely, if you were any type of warrior, you would definitely go for him. Obviously, I recruited Stan because I got the key from him. Now, if you don't do this, it might ask you to change. No, okay. So I wanted to make an example, but that won't let me. So I did recruit him, obviously, because I released him. I did recruit Sten's one of my favorite characters, so I did do his side quest. This stuff right here has no effect on the overall story, probably in Inquisition. I did recruit Severin, but he's not my favorite character. He is alive and well. You could also kill him. If you kill him, I'm not sure if he pops up in Dragon Age 2. I don't think he will if you kill him. But I did make sure he was alive and well. I recruited every single character because I wanted the achievement or the trophy for it on PS3. This recruiting people has no effect on the overall story. It's what you do with them usually, which affects it. So here we go. So this is what I want to talk about. So remember how we didn't choose? We chose to execute Logain. If I want like this one, oh nope, I'm just proving myself wrong. Here, we'll do this. If we choose this one, it'll ask me to change. So it'll say, if you want this decision, these are the ones that are going to have to change. So if you want him to, oops. So if you want Alistair to be executed, or if he was in your game, these are the changes that are going to happen. It says, this is the original choice. This is the choice it needs to make. So this is the choice you have selected currently. This is the one that needs to be made for the current choice that you want. which I did not. He became king on my playthrough. So that's why I wanted to show. So Allison and Warden were not lovers. This also affects her later on if you become his queen. If he remained with the Wardens. If you select this, obviously you'll still get this thing. You have to switch over to certain things. So don't worry about selecting wrong things that might not fit. It will automatically tell you, hey, this doesn't make sense. So it's nice and handy. Now, obviously, alive and well. All my guys were alive and well because of I wanted an achievement. This might change the story right here if you kill them, because the story, not the main story, like it won't change the lore or anything. It will just change maybe background dialogue in Inquisition saying, oh hey, you know, maybe I heard the warden killed blah 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 at the place, you know, just stuff like that. This lore, not lore but background stuff that won't really game change anything. So obviously she's alive and well. This stuff will also affect from the urn, the Urn of Sacred Ashes, which is a later on quest that we'll get into quite soon here. Morgan did not have a baby. Now this is where it gets really complex. So the only way for your character to not die at the end of Origins is if you romanced Morgan and they had a baby, or if Morgan had a baby with Alistair, but that's the only way to survive. So if and Logain, but for Logain to survive or to have a baby with Logain, you then need to have Alistair recruit him in a duel or something like that, and then like all that stuff. So this is what I mean. It's very complex. So Morgan did not have a baby in my gameplay, or my playthrough, and she didn't. These are side quests for your characters. Oh no, this is Morgan's quest. I did. Oh wait, no, I didn't do that. I actually killed Plymouth for the book because she was a giant dragon, and I thought it would be a pretty cool fight. All right, so now all the companions are all done. So now let's go on to this one. This is this one. It's not as long. So this quest, not very. I mean, it might change your story because of this is a pretty big plot, kind of. So there's Anvil of the Void, which is this magical anvil that was said to like make these magical golems that protect it, and no one knows the technology behind these golems that exist or whatever. And this is places apparently where it was made. Oh, my lung. And so you have two options. You could defend Branca. Oh my God, people are just laughing hard up there. Jesus. Ending both threat if posed and opportunity if represented. Or you can, Branca ended her own life, ultimately destroyed it before ending her, so you destroy the anvil. Or you could join forces and try to uncover the anvil's dark secrets, which is what I did. So that might affect the main story a tiny bit, not much so. Here we go. This one, very small. This won't affect anything. This is just, if you picked a dwarf, you get this mission right from the very beginning as your main character. If you did not, then you only get this quest later on in the game when you come to recruit the dwarvens. So all this is this dwarf lady wants to, or this dwarf's daughter want to go and study magic, but we all know that dwarfs cannot use magic. So I convinced her to stay with her father because of the racism that goes on. Me personally, I wouldn't want her to be made fun of by elves for trying to study magic but not knowing it or not being able to use it, etc. Once again, stuff that really won't affect the main story, but might come up in a subject, like might come in context in Inquisition. Now, following his footsteps and leading. So this one, Harrowmount is kind of the good guys. Baleen is more of the bad guys. This probably will affect Inquisition because this is the family that rises to power next. These guys kill their own, like he killed his own brother to rise to power to be next in throne, etc. These guys are more honest and so it's personal preference. I went with these guys. Here we go. So this one This was almost like a hooker lady. And once again, if you were a dwarf, you get this quest from the very beginning, in Orzammar, if because that's where you start off. If not, then you have to find this quest later on in the game. Did the warden have relations with Marty before being cast at Orzammar? So what this is this lady was trying to sleep with a noble person, like a nobleman, so her family can then be raised as nobles. I did not. Now this obviously doesn't matter if you didn't choose to romance her, then you can't choose any of these three. Because you didn't have a son. Like if you choose this, it'll ask you to switch like this stuff, and you have to be dwarf. So, nope. Now this one's not so much plot specific. You could probably skip this one and leave it as default if you want. All this is this guy turns out to be like a golem, or no, a golem, a Smeagol type character, where he's kind of demented and he's lived in darkness for so long, etc. If you just kill him, blah blah blah. This probably won't even come up in context. I took the money because I needed the money. Now this one might. This probably will come out in Inquisition, because Inquisition is heavily based around Templars, mages, and the Void. Now this is. It turns out, like, I think some of the Templars were, or the noble house were proven to be fond of the dark arts, to be said. And pretty much, if you choose, so you didn't prove anything and they kind of got away with it, or you did prove that they were connected and they were charged and everything, So this might come up in Inquisition 2, or not 2. I mean Inquisition also. I should have said that. More better. Should have used English more. Wow, but yeah. So this might come up if you're truly interested in backstory like that. Now, next one. Didn't look into the stolen tome. Here, I sold it to a friend. So this really, once again, doesn't matter. All it is like a history piece with history written in it or something like that. That's all it really is. Won't really. Oh my God, background noise. Won't really. Once again, it won't last long. Affect anything? Did the warden help Brother Burgle create a chantry in Orzammar? Now this it proved decisive. You could pay like 5 gold. It was something a lot, and this could change the overall story in Inquisition also, because if you do, I'm not sure about. You probably will go back to Orzammar, maybe, because it's like the main city, so this will affect it if you don't. As you see here, was able to start chantry in Dwarf City. It proved decisive, so I mean it's whatever you want. It could still make a change no matter what. Now this one, I'm not completely sure about this quest. This pretty much has nothing to do. Probably it could. I mean, the son might grow up and to be like someone in Inquisition that might be important. So much of their mutual belief. So I'm pretty sure this son turned out to be like a bastard son or something like that. And they didn't want him and all this stuff, so you had to convince them to take him in or something. Or it was like 2 women. I think it was like I think one of these quests has like a lesbian couple, and they did not like that, so they refused a child that they were raising or something like that. I let them. I do this because it might affect Inquisition just to be safe. Did the warden complete Rogret's lyrium deal? This probably won't matter. Just do the deal. I mean, I guess it's really just a side quest. It really does not. It's just a side quest. It has no real story importance to it. It's just like, hey, go get lyrium for me. Okay. So the assembly. Okay. Did the warden help or improve that it needs to assemble as a member of House Orden, which is a dwarven or dwarven family, I think. This could change the story once again, because whoever this is that joins in the house, maybe this changes the family somehow for the better or for the worse. So I'll go with that one, and that's the end of the Paragon of her kind. Champions, we've already done that. Broken Circle, alright, so this is where the big guns come out. So, Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age 1, you should know that Templars and mages typically don't like each other. Mages are trying to be like, or the people that kind of, they're being controlled because everyone's scared of blood magic. I personally support the Templars because of, if you go into the backstory, they don't do it just to be dicks. They do it to make sure that blood magic doesn't get out, because blood magic is very dangerous. It can kill a lot of people. It could also save some people. That being said, being a blood mage isn't typically a bad thing. It's just being a blood mage typically means have a really high risk to get like possessed, and you're very close to demons, and they might trick you and stuff like that. Some mages can, as we learn later on, can control blood magic pretty simply. Hence, like if you're the main character and you use blood magic, you don't get possessed and the game's over all of a sudden. And there's also one of your companions, I think in Dragon Age 2 or is it Origins, that uses blood magic. So there's that. So that might change it. That might change, saying like, hey, if you're in the Inquisition, and by the way, in the Inquisition, the Circle of Magi no longer exists. The Templars do not have to protect the mages anymore, so they actually go around killing mages, and mages are now free to do whatever the hell they want, so they become blood mages or whatever they want. So, but Templars are still hunting them because they're scared of them. They don't want them out. So this could affect it. Maybe you say, oh, well, the hero, or the hero of the third blight, or whatever this blight was, supported the Templars. That might bring up in backstory too. This doesn't matter. This is just if this guy survives the battle or not. Doesn't really matter. He was so old, and he was so old in Dragon Age Origins that by the time, like the couple hundred years or whatever, like the 40 years or whatever it is between Dragon Age Origins and Inquisition, is so long that I doubt he's alive anyways. Agreed to Colin's request to kill the mages in the tower. Alright, so this is probably pretty big too. That might affect the story. You either have a choice of killing all of the mages and making the quest a lot easier, or you can not agree and say, no, I'm not going to kill the mages. Then you have to progressively go through and save all the mages, and not let them die, which is a bit tougher. But I mean, you're not just mass killing random people. I obviously saved the mages, but you can do that if you don't like mages, or if you're a Templar, that works too. An evil Templar at that. Den room. Alright, so this probably won't really matter. I mean, I think this guy was a corrupted Templar who was kind of power hungry and kind of went crazy, and kind of, here, let me go back there real quick. Oh, he was just kind of, I think he went around just blaming things. He might have got possessed himself. I can't completely remember. All I know is it wasn't that important. So I killed him, I think. Alright, so this might be important. Did the Warren tell Ban Syard about finding Oswin in Arl Howe's torture room? So obviously Arl is a king of, or he has his own castle, so he's an important person. And so this person, it seems like he took his son and started torturing him. And so if you don't tell him, nothing will happen. If you do tell it, well, stuff will happen, but I'm just trying to skip through that part. That's not very important. If you do tell him, he will then join you against Loghain, which is very important. So if you do choose this could also affect the story in Inquisition. Now, did the Warden bring the ancient encrypted scroll to the city Justine and Denorem? Alright, this probably doesn't matter. Another side quest. Truly, Sister Justine looks at the scroll to study. I mean, maybe it might unlock, maybe maybe the Magi have more intelligence or more sight through magic or whatever. They know more magic because you did this. I really doubt it. It's probably not that big, but whatever. It could. It couldn't. I'm just here to tell you what could happen and what couldn't happen. So, did the Warden complete some... This doesn't matter, side quest. I mean, it might come up in backstory, maybe not. Like, hey, maybe the first... maybe the Warden, Do you remember when the Warden killed that crime spree dude and saved a bunch of people, like all that stuff? Or maybe, hey, do you remember when that Warden ignored that, or helped, or maybe ignored the crime spree guy, and what an asshole? Kind of like, maybe, I don't know. That could be it. Could be it. Not it. So I completed it, if I remember correctly. Did Warden help Sergeant Colin clear? Yes, I did. All this does, another side quest, doesn't matter. Warden handled crimson ores from Sergeant Kylan's in Denerim. Okay, so this is pretty important. I did indeed. This might affect this. Well, it's not pretty important, so I should take the back. This might affect the story. All this is, I'm pretty sure this was a quest where a guy asked you to go into his shop because people were going in there, and you go in there and wait till night, and when they come in, then you kill them or whatever. There were criminals and stuff like that, so it could, maybe not. Maybe that innkeeper goes and spreads the word about you. I don't know. The warden did not. Okay, so this doesn't matter. This is just a ring or not. Another side quest, mainly for just loot. Once again, another thing just for loot. I mean, did you keep it for yourself to wear, or did you give it back? Warden complete master assassination mission. Now this might be important. You didn't complete it, completed it, or killed the guy because he's evil. I actually completed it for gold because I'm an asshole. You also get to buy special items from him. So maybe he might be a reoccurring merchant in Inquisition. Maybe he's a merchant that resells you or sells you special stock because, something. Or maybe this guy, if you kill him, he won't come back in Inquisition, so you can't do his missions, maybe. Etc. So, once again, none of this is confirmed. This is maybe. Well, some of it's confirmed, like the Hawk returning and stuff like that, but that's in Dragon Age 2. Did not encounter Goldina in the marketplace. This side quest, did you help her? Oh, no, man. No, this is important. This is important. I lied to you. Sorry. I just realized what this was. I thought this was a different quest. So, Alistair's sister. If you do help find her, you can then... she can then be nominated for queen with Alistair. So well, not queen, that's weird. They're sisters, or brother and sister. She can then rule with Alistair. So now their entire family, well, not entire, but brother and sister ruling the kingdom. If you save her, or if you find her. If not, nothing happens. If you can't find her, and if you didn't encounter her, then nothing will happen. We'll get into that more later on. So. This one is a backstory for Liliana. So this could affect because she is in Inquisition. Liliana is a recurring character. She's one of the main protagonists, but she's part of the main part of the Inquisition. So maybe if you talk to her, I'm pretty guaranteed that she's probably going to bring this particular quest up. She might mention this person's name and how she killed her, or how she let her go, or how maybe she comes back and talks her through the Inquisition. Maybe. So I actually killed her. She was like Liliana's like young friend, and they went to the Chantry. They studied at the Chantry together or some shenanigans. All right, so the lands meet. All right, let's get into the good stuff. So Alistair rules. Alistair and Honora rules, which is his sister, I believe. Alistair and the Warden rule, so you and Alistair. Just his sister, or his sister and you. Also, I think there was Loghain. Wasn't there Loghain in there somewhere? Oh, I guess maybe not. I thought Loghain was allowed in here. So I did that. I'll show you what happens. That was my choice. Oop, I froze it. Oh yeah, see, there we go. So if to make this happen, you need to have Loghain executed by Warden. I thought that's what. Oh no, I picked it executed by Alistair. Sorry. Oops, I chose the wrong one. Good thing it chose that for me. That's the only choice there. So prologue. Okay, we're just kind of weirdly set up, but ooh, water. Pretty short. Now, very beginning of the game, side quest. In the very beginning of the game, if you don't talk to him, then you don't have to do this. You just leave. You just press left him alone. Now you have a couple options, because when you talk to this guy, he says, "Hey, I'm or you ask him why you're in this cage. He says, "Oh well, I was arrested for deserting, but I wasn't actually deserting. I was actually secretly trying to steal shit, but they thought I was deserting, so that's kind of a bummer. But I'm really hungry. I'll give you this key that I stole, for a plate of food or whatever." And I later on found out that if you do not kill him and you feed him, and you come back, I think it's through the DLC where you return to the beginning area where you become a warden at the battle. I can't remember the city now. It's slipping my mind. Oh, Ostagar, that's it. It says right there. Battle of Ostagar. And obviously the wardens die because Loghain leaves and retreats for no reason and blah blah blah. If you return, you actually see his body still in the cage, all burnt up and charred up and whatnot. So I'm not sure if you kill him, maybe for sympathy reasons, if you kill him, he then won't be tortured later on and burnt alive, because I'd rather be stabbed than burnt. So you have an option. You can either steal the key from him, you could steal or kill him and then steal the key. You can steal the food from the guard and give it to him. You can persuade the guard to give him the food, or you can buy the food. Doesn't really matter. Either way, you get the key. You can't mess this quest up at all. It's just really personal preference. He does die either way, so I mean, I'm pretty sure I actually I paid and got the key because I was kind of a nice guy. So this is the beginning of the one. This is the one I was telling you about, the flower. If you get the flower, you can then save him and then he joins your party. But if you already have a dog from being a noble, then it doesn't matter. There we go. Urn of Sacred Ashes. This one's pretty important. Did you poison it or not poison it? Now this seems kind of stupid. Like, why would you poison it or whatever? If you select this, Liliana will then die. You'll find in the Isle of Redcliffe, you'll find it mixes up. So you don't want to poison it if you're going with Liliana. So I'll jump in there and show you. That was literally the only choice for that. So this probably will make some kind of dialogue option in Inquisition, because this is pretty important. Now, if you do not help Redcliffe fight, the people in Redcliffe then perish. They all die. You know, the demons and ghosts and like zombies or whatever it was come back and kill them all and whatnot. If you do help them, then they help you fight against like whatever. They join you in the fight against the Blight. Very important. Highly recommend that. That probably will come back in the story, as we'll see right here. I'm pointing with my finger, but where my mouse is moving. So I'll just skip. I won't go that. I'll go over here real quick. So you get pretty much the exact same option. I'll show you once again. If you click this, it'll tell you, hey, you don't have to change that. So villagers prepare for undead attacks. So you have to help them prepare, and you give them weapons and you give them armor or whatever. And then they therefore help you later on. So that probably will come back in Inquisition. They'll probably say, oh, hey, you know, or that city might not exist if you don't help them, you know, that kind of stuff. So maybe you might find that city while traveling if they put the effort to put it in. Or you might see, like, or you might travel by it, or merchants might talk about it, how they just came back from there, or maybe how there's nothing but ruins there, you know? Stuff like that. So I can't remember completely about this quest. I don't remember doing it. I know in the prologue there was one where you can you can steal a guy's sword, a little kid's sword, and it was King Loghain's sword, but I can't remember, so I'll just say that, just in case. I'm pretty sure that's just a boring side quest. Well, it's not boring, but just a side quest. No quest and origins are boring. So this one's pretty important. Did the warden rescue Owen, the blacksmith daughter of Alina? This is pretty important. She might, once again, come back in Inquisition. All these characters that you save or don't save could come back, so it's best just to try to save them. Now this one, not very important. This is a side quest. This kid was possessed. Oh, no, wait. No, this might actually be... No, this is actually very important. What the hell am I talking about? What the hell am I thinking? I'm thinking about a different one. This particular quest, in the Isle of Redcliffe, like when you're in the castle with the Urn of Sacred Ashes to cure the Arl, his son is possessed by a demon. Now, you have three options. You can kill him and kill the demon with it. You can then unpossess his son and kill the demon without killing the son. Or you could just leave them alive and possessed. So this probably will affect... Because, I mean, eventually he's going to have to rule Redcliffe. Like, he's probably going to be the Arl of Redcliffe when he grows up anyways. So maybe in Inquisition, this guy is pretty important. Maybe he's an old man at this point or something like that. And, you know, he talks about how he survived or something like that. Or he might not be there at all, and the city might not exist anymore. Maybe it's run by an asshole, maybe, you know, stuff like that. Oh, background noise, sorry. So I obviously saved him. The only way you can save him is if you have I think, a mage in your party that can unpossess him. Oh god. Background noise, I'm sorry. I'll try to edit it out. It doesn't last long, which is good. Survived the Redcliffe. So this is the son's mother. If she can sacrifice herself to save her son, or she doesn't, you can keep her alive with the son alive. You could have best of both worlds with this particular one, which I recommend, because she could have, because maybe he turns in, maybe if he grows up to be the Arl and his mother died or something like that, it might affect him, and he's not a very good ruler anymore. You know, it could be anything. The Dragon Age series is very, very diverse, and anything can happen. So that's why I'm making this video for you guys. The first fate of Bella and at the tavern's waitress. So this one, a little boring side quest. You can either sleep with her, or you have an option to sleep with her. You can help her make her own business, or you can help her own the Arl Redcliffe Tavern, which is what I'm going to do, because maybe you could re-meet with her. And that's the end of that one. That's just side quest, not really. Maybe you meet her, maybe you don't. It's just side quest. Earn like Arl Redcliffe, the Battle of Denerim. So this one's pretty simple out of the choices. Logan killed the Archdemon, Alistair killed the Archdemon, or Warden killed the Archdemon. I can't remember how this affects it. We'll find out later, but I'm pretty sure. What happens if I choose this? Okay, yeah, so that's another way you survive, is if Alistair sacrifices himself. You also do this, but yeah, and then you have to do that. He has to survive that. So I killed the Archdemon, and then I died doing so. These are all DLC, so if you don't want spoilers, just skip this video. This is pretty much the end of the video. So if you're going to end now, thank you for watching, guys. Please subscribe or like it if this helped. If not, then send me a picture of you with a middle finger or your dick. I mean, what? I won't enjoy that at all. So, DLC. Warden killed the Arch... Now, this could make a pretty big effect, because he could be reoccurring if he survives. Even when you kill him, it's speculated that he's actually not dead and he could still be alive. Or maybe he is, I can't remember. But be careful with this. I actually killed him, so that's what I'm going to do. He could make a reappearing, because he's an intelligence darkspawn. He's not... He tried to create, like, the 5th Blight or the 6th Blight. There was no Archdemon, but he was an intelligence... He was an intelligence darkspawn, so other darkspawn tended to crowd around him, and then they gathered an army, and etc. So that could affect it. Don't know about that one. This one probably will make an appearance. A lot of these big choices here, like this, probably will end up being talked about in Inquisition. You have 3 options. You could protect one, protect the other, or protect both. I would go with both. Save both the keep and Arnathine. So that probably maybe another exploration device. Maybe you're traveling through and you come past these 2 cities, and one's perfectly fine but the other is in ruins. And maybe it's the exact opposite. Maybe the other one's in ruins and the other one's perfectly fine. Or they're both fine because you saved them both. So maybe that. So I really hope I'm 100% confident that most of these big choices will take over in not so much Dark Souls, Dragon Age 2, not so much that game, because that doesn't have much choices at all. So reunite with your child and Felicie, Oregon Felicie. Felsi? I don't even know. Reunited, the help of the Warden. So let's just do that. I can't remember that. This is all DLC stuff, so I didn't play too much of the DLC. Witch Hunt is really simple. Didn't go through the mirror, went through the mirror, or stabbed stabbed Morgan and pushed her through the mirror. Now, I'm not sure if you're allowed to choose this. Yeah, you're not allowed to choose this unless you romance. Same with this one. Oh, okay, you're allowed to choose that one. There it is. I stabbed Morgan, I think. Or did not go through the... Yeah, I stabbed her and then pushed her through, or she fell through. That probably will make a reoccurrence. Talking about Morgan might come back, or I know Morgan's gonna. It's already confirmed that she's coming back. It was in a trailer and everything, but she might talk about how she was stabbed and put through pushed through this mirror, and she learned maybe this certain stuff, or maybe she learned or something happened to her, right? Warren's Keep, pretty simple DLC. Power Blood. I gained the power because I wanted fight the power. I got the power. Good song. Pretty simple, probably not much of a plot device. I mean, it's probably not going to be mentioned. I mean, it was important for the DLC, probably not much as inside Inquisition. How did the Warden deal with Avernus? This is more of a Templar versus Mage. He turned out to be a Blood Mage, and wanted to continue to research in Blood Mage and necromancy and all that shenanigans. I went sided with her and killed him. That might make a recurrence. Now this DLC probably won't. There's a bug in here. This random like ladybug. Anyways, this probably will not make a reappearance in Inquisition. This probably won't be mentioned at all. If you have this DLC, you pretty much everyone will have the same choices. Like probably everyone that played this DLC, which is like maybe an hour and a half long, which is the shortest DLC. It's actually pretty good DLC, but it's so cheap, that's why. So we did neither possessed. This doesn't matter. I mean, this probably won't. Obviously, he's recruited if he's alive and well. Okay, so thank you for watching, guys. That's the end of the Dragon Age Origins walkthrough. We will be doing Dragon Age 2, but it'll be much shorter. There's literally nothing Dragon Age 2. I mean, just like maybe 5 choices in all of this. That maybe like 5 in all of these, and all these like probably like 90 choices and all in here. Maybe like 5 of them matter. So thank you for watching, guys. Like I said, if you do like this video, please like it or subscribe. If you're playing on PC, if you're playing on Dragon Age Inquisition on PC, add me on Steam, or send us an inbox. This is me and my friend's channel, and send us an inbox saying, hey, add us on Steam, and we'll both play with you, me and my friend Daniel. Daniel and I should say. So thank you for watching, guys, and peace.